a different way, rather than just the yellow, everybody loves the sunshine, happy, you know.
Yeah.
I want to put you in that, put you in that,
Yeah.
Thank you.
Very nice. Other questions? Yes.
I'm curious about your choice of medium, because these on this wall with the black background are very different from the very colorful ones here.
So choice
How
of
do you
medium.
choose? Do you start with the medium, or do you start with the subject?
Do you start with the medium or do you start with the subject? We're noticing, this question was, they're noticing very different. So the black oil on wood panel versus these other ones that are very light and colorful. Do you start with the medium or do you start with the subject?
I start with the design.
What is that?
The intention, what I want to communicate. I'm thinking about the subject on the canvas relative to the negative space, and then the colors. So then I go into how best to communicate that design. So
you pick the image first, the figure first. Is that what you
it's
mean?
kind of like it's sort of, you know, I can find images, or I see a model, or I see somebody I just want to take a picture of them, or and then there are times when I'm just exploring and just scrolling through all kinds of images online, and so I have a scrapbook, like a crazy scrapbook, you know, of just ideas and images. So and then I just contemplate on. I mean, I have ideas that I have. As we speak, you know, I have a whole queue of ideas that I want to execute. So it starts with, I'm thinking more design and placement and how to move people. I want to definitely create things that people can relate to and feel compelled to, you know, put in their homes. So I start with that intention.
Yes, and you're a graphic designer, right?
Yes.
Let's not forget that. That's your, part of your day job as well.
Graphic and user experiences software.
User experiences software.
Yeah, all the apps that you tap in. Yeah.
That's all about design.
Yeah, it's all design. It's all, it's very universal.
So then, okay, you said you found the online images and you have a scrapbook. Are you printing them and putting them physically somewhere?
No,
I'm also asking about process for other artists that get tips like, oh, I didn't think about that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so I everything I save on my phone, it goes to a cloud, and it's also on my iPad and on my MacBook.
Okay.
They're all in the cloud, so it's that foundry of all those images and notes and folders and stuff.
Okay.
And then I go in Photoshop and manipulate images and colors to see what I can do with that, and all this while sometimes often music is playing, or
of course we know music is playing.
And then I don't really print anything physically. I would put it on my iPad, and there's stands that can hold the iPad, and they're really great. It's always there, and you can zoom in on things, and so I would have this stand next to me while I'm referencing with the reference image going in and out, while I'm creating that.
Interesting.
I use like a proportion tool to make sure I get their likeness. So you can do that much easier with an iPad.
With an iPad. And because I often see even the little 60-minute special about Amy Sherrill, she had the reference image in her hand next to her painting.
Yep.
But you have it on your iPad only.
Yep.
Interesting.
Yeah. It's convenience. And saving paper, saving trees a little bit.
Okay, I love it. Other questions? Yes.
So mine's a follow-up question.
Yes.
Your approach to pulling from your references is very interesting. But I'm wondering, as someone who is very into visual art, and particularly that of organic mediums like you're using, how did you go from pulling from your reference to achieving that very signature level of expression that you have with every single piece?
Great question. That's my sister, by the way.
From the eyes directly.
Oh, sister.
From the eyes speaks
speak
yeah.
about the eyes, and let's shout out the sisters in the room. There's more than one, isn't there? There's another sister in the room?
Yes, that's my sister. Oh. That's my niece over there. These are my dear friends. This is my brothers here, Tweedledee.
Wow. Wow. All right.
Emerging artist right there. He's good. No, he's a genius.
Okay. Let's speak to the eyes. Let's speak to the eyes. And in the meantime, pass me one of those magnets.
So let me try to answer the question the best. When I'm thinking about the design and the expression, like for instance that one right there, dragon.
Dragon, which is also available in a magnet.
And prints.
And prints. And prints, yes. I love this so much.
And that I worked off of found photography, and something about the pose. It had a power, it had a reserve, it had there's a gnosis to her. She knows herself. And I was just compelled to immerse her in red, which was antithetical to the colors I usually gravitate towards, which is usually cool. You know? But I wanted to immerse her in red too. And then when the name came up, you know, when I was almost done with it, and I just wanted to use the name to kind of segue people into thinking about indigenous relationships with dragons.
The name again is Dragon.
Yeah. So it's not always this knight in shining armor fighting some evil thing. Dragons were providers and protectors of a lot of indigenous cultures, African cultures. So to embody that in a black woman looking away from you, I just felt like that was the best communication. So Nina, looking down, she's looking down and she's very deep. You know, she's a deep, and you can just in her voice, you can feel all the beauty and pain, the struggle, the resolve, the power. Nina's Yemaya that's the title. It's a reference to Orisha, the water goddess. So yeah, the blue. And the blue chaos that she's in is just kind of, you know, I was just compelled to just name it that.
And have her eyes. Remember, the question was about eyes.
Yeah. Her eyes are closed or very dim.
Well, yeah.
Very
looking down.
She's looking down, and that was being, you know, trying to capture the representation of the reference photography that I use. I think some of y'all know the photo, but yeah. So yeah, these I see the images, and I get, and it inspires me to do something about them. You know, Quincy. That's the young Quincy right there, and you see he's moving forward because he was a forward man. He was ahead of his time. So that drove the placement of him. I like placing my figures in odd places and leaving some negative space there to make it interesting. So yeah, simple as that.
So then so Quincy's at the forward of, you know, like in terms of composition, right? D'Angelo is at a little more back. So there's space behind Quincy, but there's space in front of D'Angelo.
Yeah, D'Angelo's in a void. I wanted to capture what he was feeling when he was promoting Voodoo, his second album. He didn't want to be a sex symbol. He was really about the music. He was an angel. And he kind of spiraled after that because you didn't hear much more music out of him after Voodoo for like what, at least 15 years? And he's so deep, but he was reluctant to do all that. So I wanted to capture the melancholy, this subtle sadness of him doing his, you know, the promotion for that album and that video, you know.
The How Does It Feel video. I read something about his reluctance to be shirtless, and that video took off in a way that he was really regretful about. And when I read that, it made me feel so sad, you know, to know, because some of us enjoyed it. It was employed. It was
That's nice, right?
publicly enjoyed. It was artistry. But then at the same time, right, like wanting, like feeling that artist being pushed away from their artistry,
Yeah.
and the public only seeing this very limited,
Yeah.
aspect, and not really even paying attention to the art.
What he
Like
was
I
about.
could feel that would be,
Right.
very frustrating.
And some people's music is just so important to them. Yeah.
I'm gonna make some space for other voices, other questions. Yes.
Ralston, can you talk about this piece back here with the light, different color light reflecting on the girl's
This
face?
one, the big one
So-
is.
Yes.
The question is talking about what we've been calling the refracted light series, and it's oil on wood panel.
Yeah, all those are oil and wood panel.
Speak to that.
So the found imagery that I had, and I manipulated them in Photoshop, played with their forms, and then I did, what you see there also is coming from my imagination. This one didn't start here. This is the Through the Willow. It didn't start as liquidy as it appears now. So,
Liquidy.
yeah.
Yes.
So this is speaking to, what we all know about, finding our way through the darkness,
What do you know about that?
I don't. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. It's the world is, I don't want to sound all cliche. The world's a dark place. I want to kind of say, like, coming out of the world and exposing yourself to the divine, if you will. So here, through the willows, she's kind of looking through trees there. All these other light sources speak to, like, you're looking through a window. These two are entitled. I've yet to title them, but yeah. So I hope that answers your question.
And the same with the other two pieces that are in that series, refracted light, yeah? And they're all, two of them are looking the same direction, and going back to your sister's question about the eyes and that third looking up.
Yeah.
Any particular reason?
I just was compelled by what the photography and the images that I found, and I just wanted to really capture the expressions. All these expressions are more or less subtle, they're not overt. So I love subtlety. It kind of compels you to look closer and brings you in on what's there. It intrigues you. So when they're looking away, or they're not showing much of an expression, but it's a subtle kind of like a rudeness or sass or pain or whatever, or a departure. That's what I wanted to really capture.
Yeah, and there's a QR code that is on the wall, but there may be one we can also pass around, so you can see the work on your phone as well. Other questions? I'm so grateful for you all and this, there's so much happening on a Saturday. 1 second. Yes.
I think some people have the pleasure of finding what they love and what makes them feel fulfilled, and some people never find that. But I know that I had a moment where I felt like, oh, this is what I know that this is what I'm supposed to do in life. But did you have that moment where you felt like art is your calling?
Did you have the moment
Or did you have that epiphany,
or epiphany
That's a great
where
question.
art, you realize that art was your calling, because not everybody has that pleasure of making that discovery?
Yeah. To answer your question, I'll say yes and no. The no part is that I'm not going into it with both feet. If I known things that I know now earlier, I would definitely put all my eggs in the art basket. I think I would be okay sustaining myself. Right now, there's no part, again, just me keeping my day job and trying to do the art. So it's a kind of a
You're
sacrifice.
still trying. There's
Just
very
doing
much
it.
doing.
Just doing your art. Doing it all.
There's very much
Let
doing.
me explain the trying, because it's hard to live two separate lives with 100% demands. I don't want to do anything less than what you see here. I feel like I could do more. So my attitude is like, 100%, so it's taxing, it takes a lot.
Yes.
I'd rather just it be my only focus.
Yes.
Simplified, I can spend the rest of my time with family and community. You know,
Absolutely.
which wasn't, something that was fully realized. I'm grateful. Again, I'm grateful. But so now I'm in a place where I'm doing it all, and I'm just taking it one day at a time. And I have so many people, so many loved ones that's giving me energy. So I'm grateful for where I am now. It's a story. It's my story.
Yeah.
It's yeah. So
Yes.
Hey, Ralston.
all right, Chris.
Interesting. I kind of want to piggyback off the Refracted Light series. I
Mhm.
think my personal favorite is this untitled piece.
Yeah.
And I think to that point we were talking about kind of like finding light in the void, kind of like this ephemeral kind of temporal setting. Do you feel like you came from a place of darkness into light?
Do you
Or do you
feel?
think it was from a place of darkness going into light? When I see this, I just feel so many emotions when I see this.
So speaking, do you feel as though this is primarily for folks online as well? Do you feel as though you're going from a place of darkness into light,
Or from light into dark?
Or from
because
light
I feel
into
like
dark.
there's so many
Because
different
there's so many
tones where it
different
could be like a sense of being pensive or reflection or coming out of darkness into a place of light, or you were coming from a bright place and you realize there is dark in this world. Like where is it, or if that wasn't your inspiration at all? I'm just interested to see.
Okay.
And why not both and?
Right. To your point. So I don't want to knock darkness. Darkness is good. The Bible talks about praying alone and going into a place, hiding away in the closet. And so there are times, when you come home from work or you're done with the day and the sun is set, and I just didn't feel like putting on the lights in the house. I just sat there in the darkness, and it was a wonderful thing. I was alone with I think visually, and that's great. I completely recommend that to anybody. There's something, as you get older, you just appreciate the quietude, the stillness, because that's where all kinds of communications can come in and that you need to hear, that you are more apt to block out in the light with all the noise, because when the lights come on, you're seeing all your messy living room, you're seeing the kitchen that you gotta clean, you're seeing all this unfinished stuff that and you're back in that confusion. You go back on your phone and the light shining from the phone all into your consciousness. That's all light too, but it's not great.
Sidebar.
Yeah.
Take your shower in the dark. It's really, that's a little meditation hack. So when I wake up, brush teeth, so lights are still off, wake up, brush teeth in the dark, sit down and meditate for about just 5 minutes at least in the dark, then go put on a meditation, like a sound bath app thing, and shower without any light. And it's really a beautiful reset. Try it. That's just a little
Nice. Okay.
thing. Question?
Yeah, sorry, it's actually kind of like a two-part question. I guess the first part is, it's clear that you're in tune with your process.
You're in tune with your process.
And what I'd like to know is, if you work on more than one, do you work on more than one piece at a time?
Do you work on more than one piece at a time?
And then the other question is, the other part to that is there an element of chance? I'm looking at some of the backgrounds and things, and I'm seeing do you ever get to, are there ever points when you're working on a piece where you say like, I didn't plan this thing to happen, but I can live with that?
All day. All day.
Are there elements of chance in the work
Yeah.
where things happen that you didn't plan, but you could live with that?
Yeah, absolutely, all day. And I make sure that I get into a place where I'm always open to that, and I welcome that, because I don't want to be too far in my, ego brain or left brain or whatever, what I expect. There's, again, you're just opening up to, and then there's wonderful things that just kind of happen. It's like, oh, okay, that happened. You know what I mean? Did that a lot when I was making beats, because sometimes I would just be like, just running the sequencer and boom, 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 and see what the pattern is. And like, okay, this makes sense, you know what I mean? Let's keep it, So, and yes, I worked on all these simultaneously. Some were finished earlier, of course, than others, and they were ready for, framing or, printing or whatever. And then others, I was just, so that I would process, like I started this and I got through about 80% of it pretty early before all these came to be. And, but I finished it closer to the, the deadline to set for hanging, so there are times where I just put it to the side and it just needs a break, and I just come and just look at it, and okay. And then I leave it alone and work on something else, if anything, until I have to come back to it. So there's a timing, there's a commune with, again, just the beyond, if you will. And, there's a timing to things, I guess. So, yeah.
Who are your visual arts inspirations? I forgot to ask you that. I mean, that was one of my questions, but I jumped over it. And I know there are multiple, but if you could shout out a few for us, because sometimes others, right, we learn about artists that we've never heard of.
Mm-hmm.
Who are your visual arts? No, I'm asking you.
It's whoever.
Your visual art inspiration.
It's like music. Whatever's in the playlist. Sometimes I'm in that mood where I just want to listen to like hip hop, and other times where I'm not listening to hip hop, I'm listening to. So it's whatever's in rotation. So lately, like I love movement. I love when representational, converges with the abstract, and there's a conversation, a confluence between these different things. So Jeremy Mann, I don't know if you know him, he's a great painter.
Jeremy Mann. Okay.
Jeremy Mann.
Jeremy. Okay.
The classics like, Van Gogh, his life, he didn't get much feedback while he was alive, but he had some kind of love in his heart, and just passion. He had a very troubled life, but he was joyous. He was, what is done in love is well done. That's, So his colors are vibrant, and the post impressionism. He was the lead of that. He spearheaded that whole movement. So I love, when people are bold with colors. I want to be bolder with mine. I'm thinking about this brother right here, Jay.
Bolder.
He has, great color in his art. Bold, uncompromising color. So, and it comes together really spiritual. He's, so favorite artist. This man right here, Terrence Nicholson. He abstract works and installments, and is spiritual. It puts you in a spiritual place.
Yes.
He has these glyphs that he just makes up. It looks like Ethiopian or something, but it's like that's his own language. It's like there's layers to him. So these inspire me. Jeff Donaldson from Afrocobra, the works.
Gordon Parks, you mentioned.
Gordon Parks, his photography, his lights and shadows, in his works, things that he captures. I can go on and on. It's just,
Do you ever include more than one figure in a piece?
I would like to. I've done that before, but I've hardly done that to this point lately. But in my future, pieces, the future work that I want to do, I wanted to, put multiple figures in environments too. So they're gonna have to be more of a process, getting them going. So yeah, but as long as you're brought in, as a viewer.
Other questions? Yes, I'm gonna go 1, 2. Okay.
I was gonna say, you dabble in both music and art. I would say, you relate on a lot of it, but I would say, which out of the two, which one bring you most joy?
Oh, that's the favorite child question. Which out of art and you said out of
Art and music.
well, visual art and music, which one brings you most joy? That's not fair.
No, to me, they're all one and the same. That's the easy answer. They're all one and the same. I don't see. I look at. I listen to music, but I listen to it visually too. There's colors and patterns and stuff in my head when I listen to music. I see music, and then when I do art, I feel like there's notes and stuff like that. So it's all one and the same. So I'm just happy to just immerse myself in it. I'm happy to be alive, experiencing. There's a lot of beautiful things in this world, to be grateful for. So just to be immersed in that and to, contribute a little something.
Just a little.
Little something.
Go ahead with your question.
Sure, and forgive me, I'm going to take a little bit of a late pass, so hopefully there's no redundancy.
Hello, it's all right. Come on.
The question is for the ask you over here, and I didn't catch the part where you do dabble in music as well, as far as beat making and everything else.
Oh, there's more.
I'm sure there's something there. I'm picking up and putting down. My question though is, how does the auditorial listening, or how does having music inform the visual part? Like, is music playing as you're creating?
Yes.
Is music playing as you're thinking about it? And
always.
How does
do you
audio
find that
inform
different
music?
genres move you in different areas?
Yeah.
And just kind of some thoughts about that.
Do different genres move you in different areas and
Yeah.
different genres about that?
Yeah, I love all kinds of music. Lately, I've been delving into progressive rock from the '70s. It was crazy stuff on it.
Now that opens up those chakras.
Yeah.
Talk about it.
Gentle Giant, yes. Grateful Dead. Oh boy, I can go on. And then the jazz fusion. I think Herbie Hancock, George Duke, Stanley Clark.
Because you were DJing too, yes?
Yeah.
You were making
I
beats,
still
DJing.
DJ.
You said you still DJ? What
Let's come to the closing reception. Let me see I'll see what I can do.
And you have a playlist for us that we're gonna
there's
listen
a
to,
playlist.
right?
Reference
No, but
list.
today, like we're gonna get a little.
Yeah.
Okay.
And this is what I was playing while I was doing the work, so you'll get to feel all of that. You're gonna hear lots of selections from these, amongst others, But and I love singer-songwriter stuff. Joni Mitchell, Janis Ian, Carole King. Oh my God! I mean, I can just keep going, And then classic jazz, it's just. Yeah, it's so much. It's overwhelming, but yeah.
Second part to that, I'm noticing in the pieces that are behind you, just the hues, right? And the hues speak their own story, as far as what your shows there. How do you get to that? And in getting to that, and I heard somebody else ask, if there's a mistake, how do you treat that mistake? But as far as the colors, how intentional are you about the colors before something even starts?
Yeah.
How intentional are you about the colors before something even starts? It's for the live stream folks.
I think it's a medium between just letting chance happen versus I have intentions, and we are planning, like when you came in a little past halfway through the year to check on the progress. We kind of pivoted and wanted to do some smaller pieces.
Yes, and magnets. I'm so excited.
And magnets. And so I think my inner designer kicked in to produce some outcomes. Again, I wanted to stay in touch with not doing what being in my head totally, but I wanted to again be in people's living rooms, and do things from different, produce things different price points. I hear you. So
It's basically like, all of this is for sale. But it's also, right, and you have sold a lot already, and we're grateful for the public's response and that idea of having things from prints to, like a $20 magnet, like to, other prices. Let's just say it like that.
Variety.
A variety.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
This has been a really wonderful variety today.
Yes. Thank you.
And I want to thank you for your vulnerability,
mm-hmm.
your trust, your friendship, your creativity.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
Right back at you.
Thank you.
She put me on a good handful of shows in the past couple of years, and she's been pushing the work, so we're locked.
Yeah, shout out to Jarvis Dubois. We co-curated at 2. We had your work, Jarvis and I, and 2 Art Basel.
Yeah. Art Basel, yeah. Mm-hmm.
1? No, 1. Sorry.
1, and then
1.
Atlanta.
Then Atlanta, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. We had that show. So,
Okay.
Absolutely.
Shout out to this brother right here.
Yes.
Yes.
Shout out to Art Noise. Big thank you for all of you.
Y'all were my 2 angels in 2025, so
Thank you.
I'm honored.
Thank you so much. And we want to make space for people to actually now mingle and be able to see the work and scan the QR code and read about the show, and you can get all your hugs, and we're going to take some pictures, and and we're going to wait before we go. Let's turn the playlist on. Let's turn the playlist on. Right? Let's at least get a couple bars. We got to get those bars back, but if we put it to a beat. No, I know.
So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming out. Can we give our artists a round of applause, please? And real quick, can we give our curator some shout out and some love too? Thank you. Right. Feel free to stick around. We have QR codes. We'll be around. We have some beverages in the back. All right, let's get the party going. All right.